earlier this summer, I came to Kazakhstan, and it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. But more specifically, I visited the city of Almaty, which is the largest city in Kazakhstan. Being here in the summertime is so magical. The city is literally on fire, full of green, full of incredible, majestic sunlight, and just amazing vibes all around the city. I love the city so much that I was even thinking about moving here. So what did I do? I decided to come back to Almaty, Kazakhstan during the winter for a month to see if this is a place where I could potentially move to. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Francois Marc. I am not in Korea. I am here in Almaty, Kazakhstan. And I came back for 1 month just to check, just to see if Almaty is a city that I could possibly relocate to if I considered leaving Korea. I was so impressed with the country, or I was so impressed with the city during the summertime that I had to come back during the winter just to check it out. I had a lot of apprehensions about coming here during the winter because I heard that it can be incredibly cold here. But at the same time, I visited Mongolia where it was -30 and -40 in many of the places where I traveled. So I didn't think Almaty could be that cold. And I got my hat on, I got my big coat, and I got my boots, so I'm all set. Oh, we got a little tractor coming through, clear out the snow. Okay. It's pretty cold here, but it's not as cold as I thought it would be. Today, it's 5 degrees Celsius. Since I've arrived, it's been on an average about -2, -3, so not super cold here. Very, very tolerable. At least it doesn't feel as cold here as it does in Korea. One of the main reasons why I love Almaty, especially when I came during the summertime, Central Asian charm and European influences, and also like this wonderful urban setting, which makes Almaty like really stand out for me as a nice travel destination, but could have also been, or could also be, a potential place for relocation. Potential. Plus, this city has an incredible mountain range that surrounds the entire area, which just makes the city's landscape kind of like pop off. And I love mountains. I love being outside. I love like nature and stuff like that. So waking up every day and being able to see the mountains in the background is like heaven for me. And while I'm not a really big winter person, these days I'm starting to appreciate the cold temperature of winter, because it's kind of refreshing. And even here at Almaty, the city is still covered with snow. There was a big snowfall maybe about a week or two ago, but the city is still covered with snow. And even though it's cold here, as I said before, it's really, really like bearable, the weather here, the temperature here at this time of year, at least for me. At least for today. But still, snow is like super dangerous. So it looks nice and it looks very majestic when the entire city is covered by snow, but a little dangerous because there's a lot of black ice here. I've seen, and I've slipped and almost fallen on my ass so many times on black ice that, you know, you have to be careful while you're walking around in this city. Oh, so cool. I was just standing here in the corner waiting to cross the street, and a Kazakh guy just walked up to me smiling with the largest smile that I've seen since I've been here. And he's like, Assalamu alaikum. And I was like, wa alaikum salam, which is like greeting. So Assalamu alaikum is, you know, peace be unto you, or something like that. Well, anyways, it's the greeting here. And I said that to him in response, and he just smiled. He's like, "Are you American?" I was like, "Yeah." He just shook my hand. He was just so like happy to see me that he really put a big smile on my face. Actually, as a person who really likes studying different cultures around the world, being here in Almaty just gives me a unique opportunity and a different vantage point for exploring like the different types of cultures that exist or that live here in Central Asia or in Asia in general. More so here than any other country in Central Asia or Asia that I've traveled to. You can see a nice mix. Well, I don't want to say nice. You can just see a mix of different types of ethnicities of the people who live here in the area. You have European looking people, you have East Asian looking people, you have like the mix of East Asian and European people, and it's amazing to see. Here in Almaty, there are no 4 people who look the same. If you're going to like the center of the city, at least for me, okay, that might not be entirely accurate. Of course, you can see groups of people walking around who all look very similar. But if you go to like the center of the city here in Almaty, you'll see, like seriously, there are so many different types of people. Like the phenotypes, the facial features are just so different. And when I'm looking at it, it's amazing to see like how humans can be so different, but at the same time, we're all very similar, pretty much the same. Check out this architecture of this apartment here. That looks so cool. Oh my goodness. It looks like something that I would see in Europe, or like a Victorian style apartment, I guess. But it's just like, wow, I wouldn't expect to see, you know, a building like this in Central Asia. Yeah, so whenever I come here, I just feel like, you know, I can really explore like different types of cultures and increase my understanding of the world around me. However, like while being here, sometimes I can feel like the people are a little cold. I can feel it, but maybe it's just because I don't have a lot of experience actually being here. A lot of the people that I've seen so far, they're walking and there aren't really so many smiles on their faces. So when I look at them, it can make me feel a little, not intimidated, but just a little unwelcome. However, when you talk to people, it's like completely different. At least for the people that I've spoken to, their faces light up, generally interested in you as a foreigner here in the country. Yesterday, I went to buy some foodstuffs, and I also thought the woman who was ringing me up, I thought she was, you know, not as hospitable or a little cold. But when I said like thank you in Kazakh, she smiled, and you know, she nodded, and you know, she tried to help me out and stuff. So I guess here in this place in Almaty, or probably Central Asia in general, it's a good idea to really learn the culture and to learn the language as much as possible if you're going to live here, or even if you're going to visit. Like living in Korea, I can get by with not speaking Korean if I don't want to. I can speak Korean. It's not like the best, and it's definitely not the worst. If I want to travel around the country outside of Seoul, which is like the big international city, I can pretty much still use English wherever I go if I'm not going into like, you know, very small countryside towns. But here I feel very different. I feel as if you need to know some modicum of Russian or even Kazakh in order to like really enjoy your time here, or to really infiltrate into society. You'll get by much easier if you know a little bit of Russian before you come here. And I know you want to see much more of the city than I'm showing you now, but I'm just walking around the neighborhood where I'll be staying. I just wanted to like give my first impressions of what I think so far of me moving here to Kazakhstan for a month. Well, not really moving, but just staying here for a month. And a lot of you know that I rave on and on and on about how the neighborhoods in Korea, or especially Seoul, are set up. I love Seoul neighborhoods so much. I also love the neighborhoods here in Almaty. I love how everything is kind of like square. So it's like you really can't get lost because you can always walk like in a square to get back to your starting point. And in the neighborhoods, you'll have like these nice apartments, or you'll have some kind of apartments. And in these apartments, you'll also have like a bakery or a neighborhood market where you can buy different types of foodstuffs. It's really, I think, economical. I don't want to say economical. I think it's really efficient the way that the neighborhoods here in Almaty are set up. This is something that I'll never ever get over. It's like even in Korea, I can see a lot of signs in Korean, and then at the bottom they'll have the signs in English. But here, it's just nope. It's all in Russian, all in Cyrillic, I should say. So it's definitely a necessity to learn Russian before you come out here. And I keep talking about you before you come out here. No, before Francois comes out here, because I was the one who was considering moving out here, you know, if I were to leave Korea. So yeah, I would definitely need to learn Russian in order to make my stake here in this country. Another reason why I wanted to come back to Kazakhstan is because of the food. I love Central Asian cuisine. I absolutely love it. So much so that since I returned to Korea from my travels in Central Asia this summer, I've been eating at this Russian restaurant, this Russian and Uzbek restaurant, 3 or 4 months. Like I'll go there every Friday. Now the owners of the restaurant, whenever I come in, they just smile. They sit me at my table, my usual table, and they just, you know, wait for me to order as much food as possible. I love Central Asian cuisine. I've been studying a little Russian, but I still can't read what any of that says. What is it? I see That's what I see if I'm reading it in like the Romanized style. So I think I need to go back to the basics with my Russian. I must admit, however, the vibes of the city of Almaty are a bit different in the wintertime than they are in the summer, at least from what I've experienced so far. This is only what, this is my 5th day here, and I was a bit jet lagged and I had a lot of like school work to do when I arrived, so I didn't get a chance to really come out and explore. This is my first day actually being outside on my own, you know, like moving around the neighborhoods and stuff. From what I've seen so far, the vibes are a little different in the winter than they are in the summer, and maybe that's to be expected because it's cold outside. People don't want to go outside when it's cold. It's just a little different for me because coming from Korea, like in the summertime or in the wintertime, the vibes are always the same. I mean, of course, you'll have more people outside enjoying themselves and chilling at cafes and you know, all of the restaurants and stuff in the summer, but in the wintertime it's also very, the vibe is there. It's very cool in the wintertime. So here it's different. It's definitely different as it should be. It's a different country, it's a different city, it's a different culture. Kind of makes me wonder about like the cafes and the other restaurants here, because when I was here in the summertime, like I saw some amazing cafes. Like the cafe culture here in Almaty is crazy, a bit different than it is in Korea, in Seoul. In Seoul, you know, the cafes will close maybe about 11 o'clock at the latest, 10 o'clock, something like that. But when I was here in the summertime, I saw cafes open like all night. Like I would walk around, it would be maybe 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night. That's as late as I can stay up. But you know, you will see cafes open, you will see people going in and out of the cafes. This is not all the cafes, but I saw a lot of places, cafes slash restaurants, that were open very, very late at night. Funny because the other night I walked out here and I thought there was a bakery down there, but I already walked down there and there is no bakery. So I guess my hypothesis of the square neighborhoods is incorrect. One thing I definitely cannot wait to see is going back to the mountains. I think it's called Medeo. You can take a sky lift or you take the bus into the mountains and there is like a ski resort, or you can do ice skating and stuff there. It would be a lovely place just to like take photos or to, you know, watch people just skate around the ice, or just to even hike up the mountains, which could be like a really amazing experience. When I came here in the summertime, I didn't get a chance to explore the mountains in detail, and I really love being out in nature. Maybe this time I'll have the opportunity to go up into the mountains and see more stuff. Here is a supermarket. It's called Small. I went in here the other night to buy a few foodstuffs, but also some cleaning materials for my apartment. I think this is a really cool supermarket to buy all of the things that you need at not so expensive prices. I'll definitely be going back very soon when I run out of food. And the thing I love about this city that I experienced just this morning when I woke up, it was so cool. I woke up at like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or something like that. When I woke up, I did some work and I talked to some family members abroad, and then I looked out the window and there was like this amazing view of the mountains. Of course, I can see the mountains from my window like every day, but this morning the sky was so clear at like 7 or 8 o'clock when the sun like finally got into the sky when it finally rose. It was amazing. Like just looking at the mountains, it just makes you feel something different. So basically this time that I'm here, I'm not here as, okay, I'm here as a tourist, of course, but I'm also here to really like delve deeper into the culture. I want to know like more of the nuances in language, or the nuances in, you know, societal movements, and just how people live on a general basis. Oh shoot, yo, it scared me. There was like ice that just fell down. Gotta be careful of ice too. Shoot, yo, check out the ice up there. Those things can kill you if they fall down. Man, and a few of them just fell down, which made like a really loud noise, so it scared the bejesus out of me. Another thing that I have to get used to being here in the wintertime. Man, check that out. That is not safe. But as I was saying, I want to learn more about how society works here in Almaty, because if this is a place where I would consider, you know, prospectively moving to, then I think I better learn more about how it works before actually coming here. So this is kind of like a scouting mission, right? So usually when armies want to invade other places, they send like a reconnaissance team. The reconnaissance team goes in to gather information about the enemy's whereabouts and stuff. I'm not saying Kazakhstan or Kazakhs are the enemy. I'm just saying like this is a big scouting mission for me to gain as much knowledge and experience as possible. It's cold out here, but it's not cold. Like I really feel refreshed after my walk around the block. I got a chance to move my feet and yeah, get my steps in for today. So I think I'm gonna go inside and get something to eat. Let's see what we have on the inside. This is the key that I have to use to get into my apartment. It's so old school. It is so cool. I don't really know if you guys can see. I'm gonna try to zoom in, but here are like the mountain ranges around Almaty. It's so cool. I can see this whenever I wake up in the morning. Mountains over here. So cool. I love these cookies so much. Okay, there are definitely a couple of things that I'm gonna have to get used to while being here in Almaty, and that is the people and where things are. Firstly, the people. So I just left my apartment complex, and as the elevator was opening, I was like shocked because there is a Kazakh woman and her, I guess her son or someone popped in front of the elevator door. And I think I'm not used to seeing Kazakh people like on a daily basis just yet. I'm used to seeing like Koreans. So it was like, whoa! And we were both like laughing and just like in different languages, just talking about how it was different to see each other. I mean, even though I can't speak Kazakh and she can't speak English, you could pretty much tell through body language what a person is saying. And as I mentioned before, here in Almaty in Kazakhstan, there are just so many different people. They all look like very different from each other. So yeah, this is something that's going to really take some time to get used to, because in Korea, like it's very homogenous. And even in the United States, like I live in a predominantly African-American community. So I'm used to seeing African-Americans around me all the time. And when I go to like the center of the city in Atlanta, I can see, you know, other ethnicities like European Americans, Asian Americans. It's still not as shocking as being here for some reason. And the next thing is like knowing where things are. I still can't figure out like where things are. Here in Almaty, it's a nice city, just not as convenient as Korea. Like even though the neighborhoods have their own shops and bakeries and stores and things, oh, some children over there putting on fireworks, bad children. You know, Almaty is nice. It's still not as convenient as being in a Korean neighborhood. Korean neighborhoods are extremely self-sufficient, and I feel like you can find everything in a Korean neighborhood like easily as soon as you arrive in the country or in the neighborhood. In Almaty, it's kind of like, because there's no English, but not only that, some of the I guess like the stores and shops and pharmacies and things, it looks like they're inside of like the building. So you actually have to like look inside or go inside to see if what you want is actually there. Okay, so that concludes my first video of my month stay here in Kazakhstan, and it's already been a week. I'm grading papers. I'm still like changing grades for a lot of my students in Korea, so I haven't really been out exploring, and I've also been jet lagged. So after New Year's, I'll finally be able to get out and actually like explore the city more. And I'll let you guys know what I think, if this could be a potential place to move here in the future. Thanks a lot for watching. Love you guys. Let me know in the comments section, like, is there a city that you would like to move to if you had the chance to move abroad or even to relocate within your country? Thanks a lot to my membership members, Coco Cook and Nagada. Thanks a lot for helping to sponsor videos on my channel. And as always, I hope you all stay hydrated. Love you. See you in the next one. Take care. Peace. Had to buy some pizza for lunch.